Sovereign Saurus here. Today we're going to talk about some sovereign resources and we'll take a look at some nice shiny ones while we're here. So here we have a bunch of sovereigns. What are these? These look like young heads. And yeah, we'll take a little look at some sovereigns as we go through. But today I want to talk about some of the resources you might find useful if you are planning to collect sovereigns. Also some other coins, but mainly sovereigns. So if you're interested in sovereigns full stop, then this is the one that you would be looking at. But there are also some other interesting books and resources you can take a look at. So there are some websites as well, which I'll mention and link as well in the description. So first of all, this is an interesting one. This is a Seabees numismatic publication and is British coins 1816 to 1968. So I do have some other years. They were, I think, maybe annual, I'm not sure, but I've got a 65 here and a 68. So there are different years. I'll just show you quickly inside here. These I just picked up. I can't remember where I picked this one up. It might have been an antique shop that I came across. But basically, this one is more of a catalogue of all the different available coins and dates and the years. And then in the condition, it will tell you roughly the price at the time. So let me just go to a sovereign. So remember back then, you're looking at shillings as well as pounds, things like that, before the decimal. So just bear that in mind. Some of the prices you might need to convert. So yeah, if we look in here, we've got obviously some sovereigns and you can see the various prices. So VF is a grade, EF is also a grade as well. So there is some comments on things like rarity and some pictures with mint marks and things, and generally what you get is a little bit of background about the the monarch there. So like you can see here for William. So yeah, it'll tell you a rough overview of what's available and the dates. The reason I bought this, I thought it'd be interesting to have a look. So you can see, for example, some of the sovereigns of, what page are we on? William the Fourth. So we've got the available years here, and you can get an idea of which are the more expensive years in the time, and perhaps compare that to perhaps more recently. So if you look here, in the fine grade, we see that the 1831 is more expensive, the 1832 is lower priced, and yeah, it doesn't give mintage figures necessarily, but it can help you, build up a bit of knowledge, and just it's just a nice small catalogue to flick through, and that is only British coins. Next is the coins of England here on the left, and this is the Spink book. Now my version is 2017, so there could be a later version since then, and we'll talk about this one in a moment. Now this one, it is pre-decimal issue, so it's coins of England, it's everything pre-decimal. So it's not just gold, it's not just silver, it's all the different, you've got brass, you've got bronze, copper, etc. And you've got many different monarchs. So there's a lot of pictures, a lot of info, and I'm not sure what the oldest coin is, but there's also, some like helpful terms and things like that, and just, general advice, things like that. You also find a lot of advertisements in here, so although you are buying the book, it is also, I guess, making some money from advertisements as well. So yeah, you can perhaps find some dealers in there, things like that. You would presume they're going to be fairly reputable, featuring in here. So we're going back to Celtic coinage. So there's information on the times, and then there's references. So if you want to do some more further research, and then like I say, there's things like the information on the actual coins themselves, and this goes all the way through to obviously more modern days. So Victoria we're more familiar with, and like I say, it's not just sovereigns, it's got the crowns in, it's got all the circulating coinage and things like that. So very good if you're not just into sovereigns but you are into British coins, and it's a good thick, good quality book to get your teeth into. And then finally we have this one. So this is the Marsh book you might hear of. So Spink and Marsh are the two names you'll hear a lot of. And yeah, we've got obviously the famous design there, the broken spear or lance. And again, I'll just show you the contents page. You know, you've got the £5 or £2 included in this one. You've got obviously the sovereigns, and it is, you know, it is mainly sovereigns, so you're not going to find all the base metal coinage, but there is, you know, information on the halves and things as well. So a lot of information to go through, some very nice quality pictures. It is a good quality book, and if you're looking at collecting sovereigns rather than, you know, just stacking, definitely one you'll be keeping your eye out for. So very good. It shows all, well, probably not every single variation, but it shows a lot of variations of the different coins that were made. So, you know, you've obviously got different years, but you've got different types of coins. You know, there's minor changes. Some of the errors and different sort of mint, what would you say, mint marks and things are included. So, for example, there's errors in dates, or, you know, different things to look out for in terms of dates. So a lot of those are covered. I imagine there's some that are still being discovered, so, you know, perhaps not every single one will be added in. And just to kind of show you those pictures, so that's a full sovereign next to the picture. It's, you know, a good size, good quality picture. And yeah, you can just flick through and look at pictures. To be honest, it's a really nice book. So you've got different lists of the mintages. So that's over here, and then a rating is like a scarcity, if you like. So common or scarce or whatever it might be. Now, some people find that perhaps the information, like a rating, for example, you know, you might find one happens to pop up. You might have a load of them. For example, these commonly rated Georges here, I'm still missing a couple of those, so they're not that common in my stack, whereas, you know, something like 1913, like every other George I seem to get is a 1913. So yeah, there's plenty to go in there, a very, very good resource, and if you're going to buy a book, you know, probably what I would look for. So in terms of online resources, there are obviously many different things there as well. Now, there are various dealers' websites which are useful. So I like to use Bullion by Post. They've got obviously the charts page, which is the gold price. So you can look, you know, historically, you can look at the gold price today, or you can't look at the gold price tomorrow, but you can look at the gold price in the past, you know, weeks, months, etc. You can also go on a page there which is sovereign mintages. So that tells you how many sovereigns were minted, what mint they were minted in. So, you know, Canada, India, etc. And they are, you know, all listed on the website there. The thing with buying sovereigns, if you're going to buy, you know, and you're going to choose certain portraits, a lot of the time the dealers will charge you more for that. So, whoops. Not all do, but some will charge you more for, you know, if you want to specifically choose this Jubilee Sovereign, whatever date it is, then you might be paying a little bit more. So I personally prefer to just buy best value coins, and if I do go to a coin shop or a coin show, or if I've got that opportunity to pick a date, then I will, you know, by all means I'll take that opportunity. But a lot of times I'm just buying, you know, whatever's best value. If I get to choose a monarch, then, you know, that's always a bonus as well. But, you know, random best value coins, you can always have some interesting stuff. I've had shield sovereigns, I've had, you know, Gilliks, I've had all sorts come out of just best value. So going back to, like I say, resources, you know, there's various dealers. A lot of dealers you'll come across will have some sort of information on there. Auction houses don't tend to have much information on the coin. So some of them do, but, you know, they don't tend to have, you know, pages of resources like some of the bullion dealers do. So a lot of auction houses, you know, they'll just show the coin and the information, but if you want to find, you know, mintage figures of all the various sovereigns and things like that, it's a good option. The other option is just doing a simple image search on whatever your favourite search engine is. So, for example, if you're new to buying sovereigns and you see this thing and you're like, whoa, what on earth is that? Why has it not got the Georgian dragon design, you know, the normal that we're familiar with here? and you might think, oh, hang on, it's like some kid's drawn it. You know, maybe that's what you're thinking. So you could just search for 2005 Sovereign in an image search, and if you get a load of other images that come up like this on, you know, your reputable bullion dealers' sites, you'll be, okay, that is perhaps what it was meant to be, you know. That is the coin of the year. Whereas if you see a 2005 on this kind of a design, you know there's something wrong. So just a simple image search, you know, can be an option. One final option I will give is if you have a local coin shop or coin dealer, or you are local to an actual coin show, then that would be a viable option. You know, you could go there. If dealers are busy, you know, and they've got customers, they might not have time to talk you through everything. But perhaps if you go to a smaller dealer when they're a bit quiet, you might have time for a chat. You know, maybe offer to buy them a coffee or something, and just get a bit of information if you're new. And yeah, you might also find, like, I've been in a We Buy Gold type place, you know, selling a bit of jewellery and stuff, the shop was. And the guy himself, he loves collecting sovereigns, so he's doing, you know, all the dates is what his goal is. And he's just, you know, as they come in, he'll keep them aside. He'll have to sell some, but, you know, what he can, he keeps aside to save for the future, really. So, yeah, you can meet all sorts of people in all sorts of places, and a lot of resources out there. So, obviously, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'd be happy to answer them as best as I can. I'm obviously still learning as well. There are links to all the stuff I mentioned in the description. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Talk soon.